You can't give every single first-time homebuyer $25,000 and expect the prices of houses to come down. That's just not the way the economy works. That's socialism. That's communism.
So one of the biggest drivers of inflation right now are shelter costs.
What?
Donald Trump was asked earlier this week when he was out campaigning in Nevada his plan, and he said he would like to release more federal lands to allow homes to be built.
As a businessman, before I became governor, I was in the mortgage business. And the last thing that you want to do is the Vice President Harris plan, which is to put $25,000 more into every single person's pocket for the purpose of buying houses. Because if you increase demand without fixing this, for first-time homebuyers, that's correct. But if you throw the demand side up without fixing supply, what happens to pricing? You're actually exasperating the problem. Prices for housing goes up. So the solution that President Trump's talking about, and it's the correct solution, is to eliminate permitting reform, get permitting reform, make it easier to developers, make it easier for people to develop and build houses, get rid of regulations. That's the free market principles that we believe in, and we know are the correct way to do it. I mean, when you think about it.
Republican Party platform, because we went to look at it, it says that Republicans will reduce mortgage rates by slashing inflation. That's really a Fed decision, right? But also open portions of federal lands to allow for new home construction, and then promote home ownership through tax incentives and support for first-time buyers.
Well, first off, there are so many first-time home buyer programs right now. And my question to you, and this is a great question for Vice President Harris, who's going to build the 3 million homes? Yeah. I mean, basically, we believe either in a free market system or we believe in government intervention. And so the bottom line is you're going to drive up the cost. The reason we have 20% inflation under a Biden-Harris administration right now is because of all of the attacks on energy, for example, the bureaucracy. We need permitting reform. We need deregulation. We need to unlock American businesses to meet the needs of Americans. Basically, when you have municipalities stopping new developments for lot sizes and for first-time home buyers, that's the things you need to do by increasing and throwing more money and giving, like, think about it for a second. This ticket, a Democratic ticket, they've never worked in the private sector. And so their policies are showing that. You can't give every single first-time home buyer $25,000 and expect the prices of houses to come down. That's just not the way the economy works. That's socialism. That's communism. Well, what we're talking about on the state level, if we have a natural disaster, for example, if there's a tornado that comes through one of our communities, we don't want out-of-state people coming in and price gouging as far as roofing, materials. So when I declare an executive order and say this area of the state has been hurt, it's for a short period of time. It's maybe for a month. And that's just to protect the people from really people coming in to try to make money off of this disaster. So that's totally different than what I see this administration, the Vice President Harris, recommending. So she's saying, here's the problem that doesn't make sense to the American people, and you need to question her on this. Okay, so she's going to tell grocery stores that the maximum you can pay for milk and charge for milk is $1.99. Well, what happens to the farmers if the costs are more than that?
Yeah.
Okay, what are they saying they're doing? We have to get back to asking questions about policy. And Vice President Harris' policies have led to 20% increase in inflation. And I think the American people at the end of the day, when they ask themselves, were they better off when President Trump was in office? The answer is going to be yes. And so President Trump's the nominee. He has the best policies, and I believe he's going to win in November.